Olá, meu nome é Carla Esmeralda, eu sou curadora do Rio2C. Nós estamos muito felizes com a realização do Rio2C Alive e, em nome do Rio2C, gostaríamos de agradecer a todos aqui presentes, palestrantes, moderadores e você que nos assiste. Tenho enorme orgulho de apresentar o painel Documentários Globais, Narrativas e Financiamentos, onde produtores de documentários falam sobre narrativas, escolhas temáticas, produção e financiamento, destacando as especificidades do pitching para o mercado brasileiro, americano e europeu. E o que faz com que um documentário se torne uma obra global, com impacto em audiência no mundo inteiro. Os palestrantes, Aymara Hanks, Chief Executive da Conit Production, Estevão Ciavata, sócio produtor da Pindorama Filmes, e Figs Jackman, Head of Global Development da Spring Films. A moderação do documentarista Belisário Franca, sócio e produtor da Giros Filmes. Esse painel pode ter a legenda ativada diretamente aqui no canal. Podem ativar a legenda e escolher o idioma, ok? Belisário, vamos iniciar o painel?
Yes, let's go. Thank you very much for having you all here. I will start with Aymara. Aymara has more than 25 years of experience in the UK film industry and has collaborated with several renowned directors and producers from the UK and abroad. He was the lead producer and co-writer of the award-winning Aquarela, directed by Witok Kozakovsky and selected for the Oscar 2020. Now we'd like to see the trailer, Aquarela trailer, please. Well, Aymara, I've been following Witok Kozakovsky films for a long time. Epic movies like Antipodas and also Aquarela, films with a strong artistic signature. Aquarela followed, for instance, natural events around the world. No narration, no dialogues, no explanation. From a production point of view, it seems to be very unpredictable. How do you pitch a film like Aquarela?
Thank you to all for the opportunity to invite me to be part of this. I'm excited. It's a pity I cannot be with you over there in Rio, but I'm really grateful to the organizers for managing to get all of us together anyway. I would say Aquarela is a project that we actually initiated in Glasgow in the company where I work, Aconite Productions. We are really interested in making films, that somehow bring us together to think and to reflect on global issues. That is the motivation, and I have been doing that for a long time, since I have been involved or since I started my career. But I always has been interested in using our media of visual media to address issues that push boundaries around, how we perceive the world, how we perceive ourselves. And when I set up Akonai nearly 10 years ago, I had a very clear, I have no interest in working anymore in small projects. They will stay locally. That it was time for us to go global. And Aquarela became our flagship project. It took me more than 5, nearly 6 years really to get it together. And from the concept of we want to make a film about water, and we knew it needed to be global, as is the subject of this forum here today. But one very important aspect is that we wanted to work with the most accomplished talent, international talent that we can find, in order really to honor the most precious element in the planet. And I was privileged to meet Victor Kosakowski at one of the international events. I travel regularly to all the international events, really to find the co-production partners, the potential financing partners. And so I just spoke to Victor, and I just happened to speak to him at the right time. We go on well. And he at the beginning say, no, I don't really want to make a film about water. I'm not really sure. And then because he's known as the Rembrandt of documentary, we call him the Rembrandt of documentaries because of his high creative abilities and the way he made his films. So I just say to him, forget about water. As you are known as the Rembrandt of documentary, then let's use the screen as a canvas, and we'll use light, and we use colors and water to paint, and let's call it Aquarela. And this is something that came off the cuff. I just have no intention at the beginning of making Aquarela, but by suggesting that, immediately it triggered the imagination, and it triggered the inspiration that I was hoping from a director of Victor's caliber. So that is how the journey started. And I was naive enough to think, oh, well, I go Aquarela, I go water, Aquarela, and I go Victor, who is so well established, and it will be easier, to get our financing together. But it was not like that. So it wasn't. Obviously, you're right. There is no narration. It is a film that it actually breaks boundaries in terms of how we use cinematographic language and way we communicate to audiences. And I was very aware, okay, if I have seen Vivan las Antípodas, that I totally fell in love with Vivan las Antípodas. And I saw, okay, so we are going to do something. I have to find a way to best serve the creative energy of such a person like Victor. And I think that was my job. Perhaps because I'm Venezuelan, and that I have to mention that because I think possibly a European producer would have struggled a little bit to follow what we were about to do. But obviously, I come to Europe to get the best that we learn in Europe. We learn the knowledge, we learned, how to go about business. There is a lot, of the history of this part of the world we have to learn. But somehow, perhaps from my background, what you bring is your instinct, your connection to the elements, to want to do things in the way that you feel is the right way to do things. There is more of a free spirit. I always call it like that. And I think it's a cliche to call it. But we think we bring that. And that is the connection that I have with the director. So, okay, so I can get you. I can feel, what is it you want to do. So from there, it was a case of, how to hold that energy, number one, to keep the connection with Victor, and then to find the right partners that will connect with that energy, they will connect with the intention, and they will feel as inspired as I was of meeting such a director that we can serve the best way we could, to make such a film happen. So I was lucky that being here in Scotland, my local film fund is very generous. I have been successful in getting every single fund that we apply for here in Scotland, we get funding for. They were very excited about the project. And a social entrepreneur, a woman who was really interested in the work that I do and what I stand for and my motivation for doing my work, she also came on board with some investment at the beginning of the project. And that allowed us to put a package together, what we call the teaser, the proposal. I brought Kosakowski to Scotland. We work in a teaser and test the ideas, because Victor was very clear from the start. He said, I would like a couple of things. One is that he wanted to film a high frame rate, which is a new way of us consuming cinema, or experience cinema, better to say. And that was very challenging. I could talk forever about the challenge of working a high frame rate, especially when you are traveling around the world with nearly 1,000 kilos of equipment in incredible extreme locations. And then, he said also that he wanted to have water in every single shot, but no one single drop of water in his lens. So we were testing these ideas. And, when you want something, you kind of are almost like naive. You go like, okay, let's try it. Okay, let's do it. You're very enthusiastic. And that's what you follow. And in a way, through that enthusiasm and the partnership with the director and the funding that we got locally, we managed to take the project to the market. We was CPH in Denmark. And there we found our partners, co-production partners in Germany and Denmark. And we also got a partner in America, which is L'Ouverture Films. And that brought us, like a right solid team. I was really excited when we managed to we won the best pitch in CPH. Obviously, that gave us the attention from all the right different players to say, okay, this is a project that we need to listen, that we need to pay attention to, with Kosakowski involved, obviously. So we started to build the team and the financing slowly in order to reach the target. We were looking for 2 million euros, at the minimum, because I knew in order to do such a global film, you need to think ambitiously, and you need to find the best players, they can back you up. And something I learned very quickly, and I share it. I'm sorry, I know I could talk forever about this, so you need to stop me when you feel time to move to something else. But I learned through the process, for me, was crucial, and it's part of the work you do, always connecting with the people who tune in with the project, who gets you, who get intention, and not to pay too much attention to the ones that don't. Because people don't have to necessarily connect with what you do. You hear people, oh my God, it's never happened. Oh, Victor Kosakowski, oh, he's crazy. No, and you just don't tune in with that. You just tune in with those where you feel, okay, you get me. We can work something out, and together, you can do an amazing film like that without the collaboration of partners who come with a very clear intention of why they are there and want to be part of it. So the financing was done step by step. I could continue if you want me to complete the cycle. But eventually, we managed to get all the financing partners in the UK, all the financing partners in Germany, in Europe, in America, and participant media closed the financing, which was amazing for us, without, obviously, that combination of partners. And then, putting the ice on the top of the iceberg of the cake, then certainly we wouldn't have been able to do it. But it took us, 5 years altogether, 3 years to finance it, 2 years to make it, and then the launch, 6 years for a project like that to happen.
But it's a great project. So the final budget, it was 1 million euros. That's it?
2 million euros.
2?
Yes.
Amazing.
2 million.
We see the money in the film, which is good.
I mean, people, you could not do a film like that without the right resources to make it happen. And 2 million was not enough. That's the truth. There are locations we couldn't visit. Every location we went, you spend over 100,000 euros to be able to make something work. We were a core team of 8 people. I traveled to the locations with the team. But in every location, there were up to 10, sometimes 20 people helping you to be able to achieve things, and working in extreme conditions with highly specialized technology and with an amazing team who they knew what they were doing. We were shooting a 96, as I say, 1,000 kilos of equipment. So it was challenging, to say the least, but very exciting. So I was ready, to do anything to make it work. And I'm very proud of the team and what we went through together to make it work, from every single financing person involved, from every person who connected with us, from the creative team that worked with Kosakowski. I mean, if you are talking about global, I always feel Aquarela is a great example of that, because it's a combination of partners in different parts of the world, and they offer very unique, skills, dedication, passion to make something special. And nobody was questioning, or nobody saying, oh, should this work for this? Should we work, should we do it this way or that way? It was totally committed to trust that we have somebody, obviously, an artist like Victor and a team and a creative team that were able to do something special. And above all, and this is very important, is to honor water. And again, that I'll bring that myself, the Venezuelan, right? And I don't have feathers, obviously, going around, but but for me, it's crucial that connection with the element. For me, when Victor said, right, we do it from the perspective of water, I said, okay, we are talking the same language, because it has to be from the perspective of the element. Let's allow, us to experience, let's allow to actually remember what water is like. What is that element that makes all of us possible to be alive? And we just, we just take it for granted, we drink it, but we don't feel it anymore. And I feel, I felt rooted, to the element wherever we went. Seriously, I'm convinced, and this is my experience, it's like water allowed us to make the project happen. It was her show. She was the diva, and she could have washed us away anytime, because I don't know if you know, every single shot and every single scene that we do in the film, it happened as it happened. Victor and the team are a master of creative documentary, which to me is fascinating. Is how do you capture the present moment, have the right skills and the resources around you to capture that moment, and to do it beautifully. And that's a big challenge. For me, that is art. For me, the most difficult art form that exists is documentary, in my view and in my experience. And we were able to honor that, and in the process, leave a legacy of where we are today, where the world is today, honor water as the master of this planet, but then honor cinema through the creative ability of somebody like Victor and the team who we were working with. So I'm very proud of the project in that sense.
Well, congratulations, Aymara. It is really a great film. Now, I would like to present you all Stevan Chavata. Stevan is director, screenwriter, and producer. Beside his work as filmmaker, he's also an activist in social and environmental causes. Stevan just finished a new film in the Amazon region. Let's see the trailer of Amazon Anonymous Society.
Fala, gente boa. Alô? Qual que é o tamanho daquela fazenda ali de céu azul? Ali? 760 aqui. Qual que é o valor dela? 20 milhões. Tá joia. Eu tô mexendo no negócio aqui.
Nós temos uma área mais ou menos equivalente a 2 vezes o estado de Minas Gerais, na Amazônia, disponíveis para grilagem, que era a apropriação de grandes extensões de floresta para revender essas áreas no futuro. É uma forma de crime, de fato, organizado.
Quem é o maior vendedor de fazenda hoje do Parazão? É você, cara. O cara tem que bajular você.
Então, a especulação fundiária é o primeiro motivo que move essa questão do desmatamento aqui.
Pagava quanto aqui?
Ele pagava 3 mil pra mim que corto e... Quanto você? 1.600.
Só tem essa ilha aqui, já de floresta. Por trás, os madeireiros já vêm fazendo essa destruição.
Difícil combater num ambiente que você não tem um lado legal para você apoiar.
De fato, a sociedade vive o crime ambiental.
Isso aqui tudo é cambaral. Essa aqui é a Massaranduba. E essa aqui, ó, é o IP.
É a nossa floresta que nós estamos cuidando. A gente vai cuidar da floresta.
Lá é a última fronteira agrícola do Brasil. Então, volta lá hoje, deixa você pegar um mato, um pedaço de terra, você fica rico de novo.
Esteban, in this film, we can see how dangerous and uncontrolled the Amazon region are for those who try to keep the forest alive. Did you take a risk during the shooting or after?
Yeah. During and after, I mean, not exactly. I mean, the people who lives in Amazon, I live in Rio. I have part of my family there in Maranhão, but especially the people that lives in Amazon are in most danger, and that became one of the reasons for this film to exist. I mean, the film completely different from Aymara process. Mine was like a mission of impossible mission that I had to take part of it. I mean, I did in 2014 a series for TV about the Amazon region, and with that material, a small part of that material, I started the idea of shooting in a specific place in Amazon, the BR 163 road, and well, it's it's where I think the future of the Amazon will be decided. The crossing of Transamazonica with BR 163, and I started to go there to shoot, and taking resources from wherever I could. I mean, I applied for many funds here in Brazil, but I earned no one.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I think probably because the subject was not an easy subject for Brazil and for Brazil. And I finally got a fund from Doc Society. But it was a flex fund. It was funny because the fund was originally designed to transform films into campaigns or into web and TV projects. But I proposed the reverse. Look, I said, look, I already have the web and I already have the TV, and I want to make a movie because I think that we have to make something more deep about that situation. And I really got a small amount of money just to start it, and I had a co-production with Canal Brasil with another really small amount of money. And then during my other projects that I was doing during the 5 years, when I was there shooting, for instance, another project that was in Amazon, I shoot 1 or 2 or 3 days or a week there, and a week there shooting. And the process of editing was also during all this period. I mean, I shot, come back and edited, and go to shootings again and edit a little bit more. And in the beginning, it was like I didn't know where I would really go. I mean, it was like an artistic freedom that I usually do not experience because I usually do jobs or films when you have already a target or something that you want to do. In this film, I permit myself to be more free. Okay, let's see how it goes. And during this process, I started to get in contact and really close to the Munduruku Nation. Are the ones that are defending the Tapajós River. That is the only river on the right side of Amazon River that is hasn't a dam. So it's a huge fight nowadays in Brazil because they are fighting against this dam in Tapajós River, and close to the agribusiness sector, or the BR 163, this is the agribusiness road. So they have all the forces and land grabbing in there, and the IP mafia is the wood mafia that's are invading their lands. And so there is this kind of mess that nowadays we are living. And during these 5 years was interesting because even if I haven't too much money to invest on the film, I think that the film has a huge quality, and I got to shoot with a crew of 4 or 5 people in the maximum. And I did camera. We are like everybody, one-man show, five people of one-man show. So everybody does whatever is needed to do. Drones, camera, sound, and I got this friendship with the Munduruku, and we got a very confident relation. And now in 2018, I gave a camera for them because they already have an audiovisual collective. So they helped me to register the things that were going there. And in the end was a co-production. I put them on the film as co-producers of the film, not only as characters, but also as. And now I am working on the releasing of the film, on the impact campaign of this film, and with 5 different goals, and one of them is to raise money that I already raised some, to put internet and satellite monitoring over their territory. So it's a kind of as I said in the beginning, a mission. Like I said, okay, let's do it. And I love these people. I love this forest, and I love my country. So I say, okay, let's do it. And this is an issue that is global. So what happens in Amazon will determine what will happen over the globe. So I have great connections with a lot of people around the globe that the film is spreading. And here in Brazil, we will launch it at Global Play.
Oh, perfect! It's I believe it will be a great film. Actually, I'm very curious to see it because I watch it in Global, the series that you produce. But a film is a film, so I'm very curious to see how do you manage to put all this in a film. Although I understand that you go further in one subject, which is this region with this Mandacuru indigenous people. Amazing.
It's interesting because the cinema is so technique. We have to work with we have to organize, we have to plan, we have to have a square thing about life and how much money you're going to spend, how much time you're going to spend there. But I learned a lot from the Amerindian perspective, and I think that our society needs to learn a lot from them also. So this mixing of techniques and spiritualism and the forest is something that I think that is present on the film also.
All right, thank you, Steven. Now I'd like to introduce you guys Figs Jackman. Fig is head of global development at Spring Films. Spring Films is an Oscar-nominated Emmy BAFTA winning company based in London. Among great projects that Fig is involved in the recent year, I believe Millennium is maybe the most global one and probably the longest journey of all those projects. Now let's see the trailer of Millennium.
A new United Nations report warns the impacts of climate change are increasing and inevitable.
A severe threat to America's health and economy.
Right here, right now, is where we draw the line.
Nearly 1 million species are at risk of extinction because of humans.
The world is waking up. And change is coming, whether you like it or not.
178 world leaders gathered in Rio today.
The summit that will save the planet.
If a man cheats the earth will cheat man.
Is it the right thing to do to bring a child into all this?
This is Brownie. He's a Duroc. That's what he loves the most. Hi, baby. My birthday.
How old are you?
4. A friend doesn't have to be the proper color for you. It can be any as long as he's a true friend. படிச்சு டாக்டர் ஆகி மக்களுக்கு நான் உதவி
to put his children through college and to own a home and all the great dreams a family has.
I would love to work with animals for a living, and so I think it would definitely be a good career for me.
Minha mãe dorme aqui, Nandi aqui e Raimundo e o Bradastro lá.
Dia a gente tava na minha mãe, aí já começou, aí todo mundo procurando ele já tava debaixo da cama. Acho que com outro filho que eu sonho muito. Espero que Deus me dê esse filho, né?
你认为变得就有很多钱是不是很重要的事情？
不是。
那什么是最重要的呢？
身体健康咯。
好。
身体健康的人呢，健健康康才赚到钱。So beautiful, so beautiful。有个靠山，就觉得我特别，有了他们就特别想向前冲。发展中国家应该要决力做很努力的这样去发展，但是我觉得气候或者是环境这个污染是不可以忽视的。破坏大自然，就大自然会来消灭我。
I don't desire riches or fame or anything. I just want to be happy.
Pig, I'm curious about the production challenges of millennials and also the financial equation. How to convince a sponsor to come on board in a long-term project like Millennium?
It's an excellent question. Before I begin, I would like to thank Rio TC for inviting me. I look forward to seeing you all back at the conference sometime very shortly, and thanks for organising this. It's a really good question, and actually, it's one that I'm also asking myself. I've been at Spring Films now for 7 years, and as you said, over these years, we've been lucky enough to get recognised for our work. And in that time, that market has changed so much over those 7 years. And I've worked, before that as a producer and a director, and this is a project obviously that goes back 30 years and feels even more relevant today than when it first started. And I think those changes are really sort of focusing in on these global narratives. As you kindly said, it's a global project and one that literally spans the globe. And certainly when we're working on ideas now, we have to sort of bear in mind what is that global narrative before we begin. And for us and for me, it's finding those incredible, unique stories, those global themes and scale. and finding a project with scale to attract funders and investors is really important. But within that scale, also to find those universal themes that we can all understand, even if we don't speak the same language. And those themes might be, families, things we share, love, families, even the boring stuff like jobs and the sad stuff of relationships and health and everything. And I think all of these seem to be wrapped up in this millennials, in our millennials project. So I wanted to share it because whilst, as you ask, it goes back a long way. It's a project that's come to spring through a partnership we have with a company called TVE. And there's Richard Creasy, who's on the board at Spring, and Andre Singer, who's Spring's CEO, have known each other for a long time. And the original process began back in 1992, as you can see from the teas. And that was originally started off with the director, Bruno Sorrentino, and he had a vision to basically follow post the Rio Summit, 92, and it was just a short scale project. It was just something that it was short term to find these lives of these kids, and kind of, it started off with an ambition, but we didn't really know where it was going to go. And over the years, they've been picking up odd bits of filming through various pockets of funds. There's been a little bit of support, but at the moment we're at the very beginning of the journey as is now for this project. And we've also, I wanted to share with you because we literally finished that tease 2 days ago.
Whoa.
So it's,
Thank you.
Thank you. And so a lot of the questions, you're going to have are the ones that I'm asking ourselves. And I think for us that we're excited that there is this relevance with, 30 years, the big climate conference where they don't know what it's going to be in 22 is something where we can kind of unite all these figures. But as I say, a lot of the funding now begins now, and it's how we see this. We were actually, I wanted to share some of even a little bit of the process that we're going through, because we're at that process stage. We conceived this as a major feature documentary. And we've certainly, the steps for me is to kind of target those streamers and platforms. I've already had some early conversations, and there is fortunately some interest. I would also start to explore some of the equity finance people that are around now on the scenes, people like Neon, Impact. You talked about Participant, Amira, as well. That was someone that potentially we could speak to. It's the other part of the process is alongside the form of the feature doc is how can we do this as a series. And certainly, I've got in mind people like Facebook or Quibi. Can we make this work for them? So you're kind of at our stage, and this is almost like a development session for me. So thank you, thank you for allowing me to do this. But it's all in all, I think that we're incredibly excited, and it's a privilege to be at something so extraordinary. 30 years, these incredible kids, now adults, letting them into their lives, which has been obviously difficult for them. 10 countries, and I'm really personally excited about where this journey is going to take us, because we actually don't know, whilst narrative and being clear on the narrative with any of the networks and the streamers, I know there's going to be questions that are going to come up, but even we're at this stage where we're still finding out what's happened to all these people, and 30 years on. So I'm as intrigued as hopefully an audience is going to be.
Well, thank you very much for having the patience and the determination to follow all this character during all these years. So congratulations. Now I have one question for everybody. So let's start with Aymara. Aymara, expert used to say that local subject film could be appreciated globally if it's developed as a universal narrative. what kind of detail should producer look after to achieve a global audience?
So the question is, how in terms of the narrative?
Yes, in terms of the narrative, how to make your film more interesting globally than just for your region, your original region.
I mean, I think my experience is that there is an audience for everything that you do, that you really want to produce, that you are committed to. I mean, I feel anything that you want to do, that you are committed and you feel passionate about it, you do it, and you will find an audience. And I think this is important to say, because there is no one way or right way to do anything. That's my life experience, right? I experience that there is the diversity that we have at the moment, the ability to connect in different ways and to use technology that allowed us to explore and be flexible about the way we tell stories, the way we connect with people to tell stories. So I don't think there is one way. I want to say that because for me that has been an important part of my own personal work experience. You find the way to tell the story the way you feel is correct, is right for you, the way that you feel that you can serve the best of your idea and your intention, and you find the partners along the way to do it. Now, in terms of doing it globally, I think obviously we have to find subjects that represent where we are. We are at a global stage in the process of where the planet is at the moment. We are becoming one somehow. That's why we're exchanging, this culture. That's why a Venezuelan is here in Scotland leading a company, right, in the middle of
with a Russian director.
Sorry, with a Russian director. Partners everywhere, because somehow part of our job is to break the boundaries, is creating bridge across different cultures, across different way of thinking, to offer inspiration for us to realize that such a boundaries we human beings have created. We have created the boundaries. I think it's beautiful that we celebrate cultures, but we celebrate cultures within the context to be unique in the way you are, but in the context of acknowledging that everybody in this planet is somehow one species, and it's just us humans. So any subject that I think connect with the essence of what makes us be and who we are, I think it has a chance for bringing us together. Anything that inspire us, and there is no formula for that. I think it's a tricky question, because obviously it's one that relates to the creative process. Who do you bring in your team? How do you tell a story? Because any story, in my experience, will find an audience. No matter what, it will move a Chinese, it will be the Japanese, it will move somebody from Greenland. Depends how you tell that story. Depends how you get right deep into the essence of who we are and what moves us, how to be inspired. And I think inspiration is the key side, the key word for me. You are inspired, you are in spirit in a way. You feel connected to the essence of life. And anything that can touch with that, for me, it will have a chance to be universal, because there is no human that will not connect with that. So I don't have a magic answer for that, but I just feel something along those lines maybe could work, I think, for anyone. Yeah.
Thank you. Esteban, what could be universal in a story that comes from Brazil?
Okay, I loved your answer, Amara. That's great. I was thinking, I have to say nothing else.
It was fantastic, really.
I think that, we have to look for subjects that interest worldwide, and I try to work through emotion. I think this will move people around the world. And in my case, I work in two ways. These emotions. One, investigating, land grabbing. So investigation and telephone tapping and all this, you got to thrill about what is going on. And in other way, the drama of the indigenous cultures here in Brazil and how they will survive, and working with the idea that they are not only our past but our possibility of future. So this, I think, was a way that I was trying to move the audience worldwide and not only Brazil.
Thank you. Higgs, how do you feel about this universal or a global audience?
Well, I agree with both the guys and the sentiment that they've expressed, because stories such as the Amazon plight is something we can all understand and relate, because we see this. You know, we are truly in a global information sharing platform, and now we understand and we know and we need to act on things like that. So it's important those stories are highlighted, not just for Brazil but the rest of the planet, but also picking up on those sort of universal themes and those ways in. Something like Millennials Project, for me, I sort of alluded to it coming back round now, is that global crisis is something that's on everybody's, you know, platform, news feeds, everything, but it's how to tackle it in a way that's going to engage an audience. And for me, it was, we're doing this in an honest way through the people and their lives who are experiencing it firsthand. So as filmmakers, it's getting the truth from the people who are there themselves and that experience. And whether or not they're anywhere in the world, we want to hear those stories directly from them. And I think that brings that honesty and truth to that process, and that's really important. I think there's also a practical consideration, is understanding the funders and the streamers, platforms, and what they want. And some of that also hits on tone. Amira, you talked about inspiring, and I think a lot of the platforms, and particularly in the crisis that we currently face, the health crisis, is what are those stories as filmmakers we can make that are inspiring, that are positive, that really show the world in a better light, or something that actually gives us a bit more hope. And I think that totally that's going to be important for them. You know, that feels across the board of the conversations that I've been having, and with other guys that are over in the States and other major funders, because ultimately they are going to make our films. So it's what as an audience do we think we really want to watch? And on a personal note, you know, I will sit down and not go anywhere tonight, but stay in my flat, and I'll be turning on. And I'll be looking for something that is inspiring and uplifting, because maybe we need that balance as well. And I think it's, given where we are, I think looking forwards, that's something that I believe, and I've seen from network briefs, are going to be more important. So where are those really powerful, inspiring, great stories of the future?
Okay, well, very, very, very good. Thank you again for having you all here. Carla, thank you for the opportunity to stay here, and okay, I hope to see you soon somewhere in the world.
We will for sure, all of us together.
Okay.
You know, Albert Maysles, American documentary maker, he said something very special. Like, I wouldn't make films, I wouldn't make documentaries if I didn't believe that I could change the world. And when I see all of you together, I believe you all believe the same. Thank you very much for your presence here. It was fantastic. And after finishing this panel, eu gostaria de convidar a diretora de comunicação, a gerente executiva de comunicação e marcas da Petrobras, porque tem Flávia da Justa, porque tem boas notícias para animação, novos editais para quem faz animação para crianças. Atenção, ouçam logo a seguir. Obrigada.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Thank you all for your presence. It was wonderful.
Thanks.
Thanks to you. It was a great pleasure. Thank you for inviting me.
Thanks.
I love this panel. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Mara, we are gonna meet someday. I'm sure about that.
Stay in touch. Yeah, I'm interested to keep the connection. somehow
Yeah,
will collaborate at some point. Why not?
Olá, eu sou Flávia da Justa, gerente de comunicação e marcas da Petrobras. Estou aqui para falar com vocês hoje sobre patrocínio cultural. Como todo mundo sabe, a Petrobras é uma grande incentivadora de cultura no Brasil através do seu Programa Cultural Petrobras. Esse ano de 2020, nós lançamos o Programa Cultural com foco em crianças, em 3 vertentes: artes cênicas, animação e feiras literárias. A chamada pública de artes cênicas já foi aberta e as inscrições vão agora até o dia 15 de maio. Então, se você é um produtor cultural dessa vertente, você ainda tem oportunidade de fazer a inscrição do seu projeto. E hoje eu trago para vocês, em primeira mão, uma informação de que vamos abrir em breve a nossa chamada pública para animação. Nosso foco é produzir produtos de alta qualidade para as nossas crianças. E queremos que essa distribuição desses projetos de animação ocorra em plataformas streaming. Portanto, fique atento. Se você é um produtor de animação, a gente vai em breve anunciar no nosso site a abertura dessa chamada. A gente também pretende anunciar os vencedores ainda em outubro desse ano. Então, uma super oportunidade aí para a nossa cadeia de animação no Brasil. Agradeço muito a atenção de vocês e desejo um ótimo Rio to See Live para todos. Obrigada!